Hi, this is Amanda with Always in Love Vlogs. We actually have a special guest with us here today. The amazing Molly Lee is here to talk with us a little bit and discuss our books.
Hello.
Hi, Molly. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, how we usually do this is Amanda kind of does this. She does like rapid fire questions, and then we'll ask you some questions about yourself, and then we'll kind of just talk about your books. And I'll let Amanda start.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's just jump right into the questions. What is your favorite word?
Ignite.
That's a great word.
Thank you.
I like that word.
Thank you.
What is your least favorite word?
That would be see you next Tuesday. The actual I can't even say it. I don't like that word.
What is your favorite curse word? You don't have to say it. You can always spell it, or it's up to you.
It's definitely the F-bomb. My poor toddlers. Yeah, the F-bomb happens sometimes with my kids around. I try not to, but that's my favorite.
Okay, what profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I would love to be a professional poker player. Not that I could,
Cool.
but I do love to play. I used to play a lot. It's how I paid for all my books in college. But um, I don't know if I could. I need money to do it seriously. So, but yeah, I would try that.
Yeah, I think we all played it in college. I used to play for beer money and who was by the next round.
Nice, nice.
What is one profession that you would not like to do?
Oh man, I guess I wouldn't want to like do something probably like work at the dump, I guess. I don't know, like something outside with bad smells. I don't know. I'm not a very big fan of the heat, so thank God for people that do that. But no, I probably wouldn't want to do that. Or anything with math, actually, because I'm really bad with numbers. So like an accountant would be, I would be a horrible accountant. I'd be like 4 plus 5 is what? I'm so bad at math. So yeah, anything like that. Anything like that.
What is one thing about you that would surprise us?
um, I love antiquing. I know I write about like adventurous stuff, but I'm actually a very boring person. I like to go antiquing. I like brunch. I like, sitting at home and reading all day. I mean, that might surprise people.
What are you currently reading?
I'm reading a work in progress by my good friend Rebecca Yaros. It will be the second book in the Renegade series. The first book is going to release in September, and I'm just super lucky that I get to like critique for her and read early. So it's a fantastic series that's like semester at sea, and it's got some wicked hot guys. So that's always fun.
Uh, what would an ideal day for you be?
An ideal day for me would be one where I don't have to sleep at all. Like I can still function really great. So like I could be with my family all day, have a fun day, and then they go to bed and then I just write all night and like I'm not exhausted the next day. That would be my perfect day.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Oh, that's so hard. Well, Leonardo DiCaprio has always been my favorite, like throughout time, so probably still gonna be him.
Yeah, all the way back to Growing Pains.
Yep, actually, all through the stages. I love him then, now, forever, always.
What is your biggest phobia?
Oh, snakes. Snakes are my kryptonite. I just can't do it. Like, I can handle spiders and heights and claustrophobia, but, like, I can see a baby snake and I'm like, ugh, shaking. It's so weird. I wish it didn't happen, but yeah, snakes.
Yeah, definitely. Even on
Yeah.
TV.
Oh, man, I know, right? I can't do it.
What are your favorite foods?
Double cheeseburgers and milkshakes all the
Ooh, that sounds.
time. Yeah, it's bad. When I was pregnant with my son, that's like all I ate. It was really bad.
What, or sorry, are you a morning person or a night owl?
This is so funny answer because like I have to be both. I have, like I said, I have two toddlers, so I have one that's 3 and one that's 18 months. So we have to get up early, and do all the toddler things, and then at night I have to write. So I end up writing until like 3 a.m. So I have to be both. So I try to be very cheerful in the morning. Sometimes that happens. That's why they invented coffee.
What is
Yes.
your favorite boy band?
I'm sorry?
What's your favorite boy band?
In sync all the way. They're my favorite. I love Justin Timberlake like to this day. Still, big fan.
In an ideal world, would you have all the puppies or all the kittens?
Puppies all the way, and they'd be fat little English bulldog puppies because that's what I have, and I think they're the best dogs ever.
What is your favorite reality show?
Does Hell's Kitchen count as like a reality show? I love anything with Chef Ramsay at all. Like Master Chef, Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares. Those are my favorite.
Cooking shows are the way to go.
Yes.
What is the last song that was stuck in your head?
Oh, the Lost Boy song.
I love that song.
I love that song. I don't remember who it's by, but like that's in my head all the time now.
I can't remember either. My girls, that's their favorite song right now, so I hear that a lot.
It's really pretty. It's a really pretty, catchy song, and I like to think it's about like a book helping somebody's life. So that's why I like it.
If you could commit one crime without being caught, what would you do?
Oh my gosh, this is fun. I'd probably go Robin Hood on some people. Not robbing from the rich, but like the corrupt, I guess, and like give it to the people in need. That'd probably be me. Or if I was like immortal, I would do like a vigilante thing, like, clean up the streets. That'd be me.
Which Harry Potter house are you?
Oh man, I got sorted into Ravenclaw by Pottermore, and I'm happy there, but I do think that I am a Gryffindor at heart, just because I feel like I want to be adventurous. So I'm going to say halvesies, but yeah, Ravenclaw is what I sorted into.
If you could have lunch with any three people, real, fictitious, dead, or alive, who would you pick?
This is a hard one. I think I would do Jesus, J.K. Rowling, and Elvis. And it would be the most fascinating lunch in the history of time, I think. Because I think about all of them probably on a daily basis. So yeah, it'd be super fun. That would be a wicked lunch.
If given a choice, what animal would you be and why?
Oh, I would definitely be a fat English bulldog because they are sweet, adorable. Mine's actually wicked smart, but she gets to sleep all day and play and eat. She gets fed, so like that's exactly what I would be.
And what is your craziest fan story?
Oh my gosh, my favorite. So I had these three amazing readers who drove like 3 hours to come see me at a signing, and I brought little like presents for them, and I was super excited when they came in. So like I ran across the bookstore and I was like, "Yeah, you guys are here!" And we did like that crazy hug squealing thing like college girls do. And an elderly lady who was sitting there having lunch got super mad and was like, "You can't be that loud in a bookstore," and "I can't hear myself think," and we felt like we were in the principal's office, like we've got in so much trouble. So I was really embarrassed about that, but they were awesome, and I've never had anybody drive that far to come see me, so that was really, really cool.
That is the end of my 20 questions. I'll let Natasha get you with the most serious questions.
Okay.
Well, I guess we should say, tell us about yourself.
I write adventure-driven romance. My last two books have been Edge of Chaos, which is Storm Chasers, East of Redemption, which is sexy treasure hunter survivalist guy. I'm a military spouse with two toddlers, like I said, and a fat English bulldog, and I'm part of the Pitch Wars mentor competition for 5 years, 6 years now. And that helps like aspiring authors connect with the industry leading agents. So that's always fun to give back to the writing community and help people out. And I mean, I like to play poker. I like to go antiquing. That's pretty much me.
Okay, so this question is kind of funny because you only really have like two characters, but you have a lot of sub-characters within your books.
Right.
Which male character would you marry, fuck, or kill?
Okay, I can totally do this. I would marry Dash from Edge of Chaos because well, there's a lot of my husband in Dash, and
Uh-huh.
so yeah, I would absolutely marry him every day. I would fuck Easton from East of Redemption because who wouldn't want to sleep with a sexy Indiana Jones, right? I mean, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then I would probably kill Justin from Edge of Chaos. I am trying to redeem him, but yeah, he's difficult. So if I had to kill one of them, it'd be him. Yeah, he'd die.
Perfect. That's, I kind of agree with you on yours.
Yeah.
What type of a writer are you? Are you a planner, or do you like, get it all out, or you do wait till the very last second?
Well, I used to be a pantser, and I would just let my characters take me all over the place. When I actually got like met with deadlines and things, I realized I needed to kind of have a more formulatic approach to it, I
Hmm.
guess. And so I tried plotting, and it's been working out pretty great. My characters still usually veer off a little bit and kind of take me in another direction, but usually it's the better direction. So, but yeah, plotting has actually been working out for me a lot.
So what gets you in that zone, like when you're doing all this?
Well, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I'll try to dive back into the older work to get back into that world, but music definitely helps. Spotify is like my best friend, and I have playlists for each book, each character, so that helps me get into it.
So walk us through your typical day, like your typical Molly Lee day.
Oh no. Okay, so I'll wake up and feed the toddlers, play with the toddlers, clean up after the toddlers. Basically, I spend the entire majority of my day being a mom. I'm very, very lucky that I get to stay at home with him. I will generally maybe do social media during the day, like talk to my readers, off and on during playing and cleaning up after the toddlers. And then well, after they go to bed, around 8-ish, if they are actually asleep, I will sit down and I will start working, and I usually work until 2, 3 a.m., depending on what kind of zone I'm in, and then I try to go to sleep, and then I get up and do it all over again. So that's pretty much my typical day.
Gosh, I remember those days with toddlers.
Yeah, they're great
uh,
though.
when you write, I know you have a Spotify list, but what else, like what type of genre of music do you listen to when you go to start writing?
Oh, it shifts for every book. I usually just stick to the main two characters, and their voice kind of comes across. Like for the one I've just finished writing, which is with my editor now, book 3, it was very lots of indie music for my marine preservationist girl. She's kind of not full hippie, but she likes the indie stuff, and she's got a lighter voice. And then of course she's placed against this bad boy, so I had a lot of like Disturbed and hard rock on there. So it was a very good contrast. It helps me get inside their heads.
So okay. So I love your books because there's so much. Like the last book, East of Redemption, I felt like I was actually in an Indiana Jones movie,
Oh,
like
thank
going
you.
through all of that. And so, you know, what type of research goes into all of that, like to make it so adventurous? Like I know the Storm Chasers, and then you have this Indiana Jones type vibe.
Oh man, it was a lot. I actually spent more time for Easton. I spent more time researching the book than I did writing it. It was insane, but I really wanted to deliver like an authentic adventure, an authentic, expedition, and I didn't want to just go off of the movies because I could have done that because I'm a diehard Indiana Jones fan. So I could have just been like, oh, this is my research. But I did. I mapped out the entire, like I had a map of Israel and I mapped out each spot that they were in, and I was researching like the ceasefire lines, which is kind of scary when you start researching this stuff because you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to be reading this. And then I had to research like, Israeli military, like what kind of guns they're using. So every little detail, because I mean that's only like a sentence in the book, but it probably took me like an hour worth of research to find out the right
Oh my
specific
goodness.
kind of gun they were using. And then I also had to be aware of like, do they have ice cubes in Israel at hotels? I don't know. So like I have to find out all these details, and yeah, it's very extensive, but I enjoy it because I know that my characters are in the right world if
Mhm.
if I surround it. And that's yeah, there's a lot of research that goes into it.
I could tell it was awesome.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so have you been in a tornado?
I have not personally been in a tornado. I was raised in Kansas, so severe weather's always been around me. I've had, there's been close calls and just some really wicked, scary storms. But my mom, when she was 18, she outran the F5 tornado that went through Wichita Falls, Texas. They call it like Terrible Tuesday. It was a really bad tornado. She was out in her truck trying to get to my dad. You know, 18-year-old girl trying to get to her man. But I grew up hearing that story. So, and then we told it all the time. So I felt like I kind of lived it.
Hmm.
And so I'd always been fascinated by severe weather, like since I could remember hearing that story for the first time. So that's kind of where Edge of Chaos came from.
Hmm. Well, and it's kind of like your books do kind of have like a cinematic feel to them. Was that something that you were like you were shooting for, or it just kind of happened?
I wasn't I wasn't shooting for it, but I like hearing that a lot because I want the reader to feel like they're really there, and that's kind of my idea with the whole adventure-driven romance. I wanted you to have a romance story, but I wanted you to feel like you went on a ride, and that's kind of the objective I set out for, and I always see them like a movie in my head, so that's kind of how it came out. But I thank you. That really makes me happy hearing that.
What got you? I mean, where was that moment when this idea came to start Edge of Chaos?
Well,
Besides
let's
your
see.
parents.
Right, right. Besides that, so that was always in the back of my head. My husband was obsessed with that Storm Chasers show, which I love too. And it was like just one day he was like, I think I would have been a storm chaser one day. And I was like, really? And then I was like thinking about how would you maintain that kind of relationship with that high of a stakes, and it'd be and I knew it'd be something different than like I know that cops are in a high stakes situation all the time, or firefighters are, or military. I knew that, but I hadn't seen this kind of profession done before, like the more adventurous kind, or not more adventurous, but just not heavily focused on. So I was like,
Hmm.
oh, I'd like to explore that and see if it turned into anything. And then Blake and Dash just popped into my head, and we ran with it, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm just now starting their second book, so I'm really excited to get back to that world.
I loved it. It's good books, and I like his name, Dash.
Thank you so much. He gets his own point of view in this book, so I'm really excited to write it.
Great. So tell us a little bit about Pitch Wars. How did you get involved with it, and what do you like most about mentoring in the Pitch Wars?
Oh, Pitch Wars. I first got into the competition back when it first started. My agency sister at the time, we had the same agent, and she knew Brenda Drake, and they were looking for more mentors, and she asked if I had the time, and I was like, absolutely, I'd love to do it. And it just kind of started, and it's evolved so much since then. Like it was way smaller when it first started, and now it's just so many people enter, and it's amazing to see how many aspiring authors there are out there. And I love working with people who are dedicated and they know that they want to improve their book. It's not
Hmm.
like they're not submitting to us for us to just tell them, "Hey, this is perfect, send it to everybody." They
Yeah.
know that they're almost there, and they just want somebody who has been in their shoes before, been in the query trenches where you get rejected and you get told that your writing is terrible, and they want somebody who's been there before to help them guide them through the next phase of the process. And I absolutely love working with mentors. Back then we used to choose three, and so it was very extensive. There was three manuscripts to do, but now we've got just so many entrants that we can only do one each time now, and you dedicate an entire month to revisions, and it's really fun being a soundboard for people who are so new to the business and helping them with the experience that you have. So I absolutely love it.
How did you get into writing?
I think I wrote my first book when I was in second grade, and it was about aliens that you grow like from seeds. Yeah, so I don't ever remember not writing. Always been a storyteller, and when I went to high school, that's what I wanted to do. I told my guidance counselor that, and she told me that that's not going to work out. You should probably be a physical therapist. And I said, I'll show you. And I went to college and I got my degree for writing, and then still, 6 years later now, here I am.
So what's next? I know you're saying you're writing Dash's point of view. What else is going on? Like any other books and fun
Yeah, book
projects?
book three I just sent to my editor, and that is another Love on the Edge book that is not connected to Edge of Chaos, but it's more high stakes professions. It's about deep sea divers, and they have some of the most dangerous jobs out there. A lot of it takes place underwater.
Hmm.
So I can tell you that the research for this book was twice of what it was on East of Redemption. It was insane. There was so much research. That's why it's only just now getting to my editor, because I live in Nebraska, so I don't get to go out to the Bahamas and go deep sea diving very often. So I'm really excited to bring that book to you guys because Connell, my man, he's a little more alpha than I've written before, so I'm really excited to show him off and to see if you guys like him. And then after that will come Dash and Blake's second book, which takes place a year later after the first one. So
Oh, great. Can't wait.
yeah, I'm excited.
Anything else, Amanda?
I wanted to say that even I was really shocked to find out that you had not been in a tornado because I grew up in Missouri, Tornado Alley.
Oh yeah.
So I've been in a lot of tornadoes, unfortunately.
Oh,
And you just described it, the way the feelings, and it draws you right back into that intense feeling that you get when you're actually in a tornado. It was really great to read. That's why I was really shocked to hear that you had never been in a
oh,
tornado.
thank you so much. I really tried to be authentic, and I did for that research. I did interview people that had been in them, and I did read, firsthand accounts. And maybe I will be messaging you for my second
Right.
book. But yeah, I wanted it to be authentic because I'd been fortunate enough not to be directly in one, but severe weather I've been around a lot. But yeah, I'm very glad to hear that you were okay and that you liked it.
Yeah, I'm from Idaho. We don't have that weather. We just have wind and fire.
Oh
So
no.
for me, it was just so exciting to read it. And then I was talking to Amanda, and Amanda was like, "Oh no, this was like being right in the tornado." So amazing. I think that just says you're an amazing writer, and you can bring the whole story around it. So
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's what I'm going for anyway.
We really appreciate you joining us today. Thank you. It was a lot of fun. I hope you had
Yeah,
fun.
I did. Thank you.
Maybe we'll have you back again when the next books come out. We'll have to see. But thank you for joining us. This has been
yeah,
Always in Love. Amanda and Ethel.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
thanks again.